Welcome to the third episode of Sahani. I'm glad to see you guys again. I just recorded this past Thursday, and I promised you guys another episode. And here we are, Sunday, November the 3rd. Got a great show lined up for you guys. As always, very grateful that you guys joined us. Wherever you're from, welcome. Sahani. So what is Sahani? Sahani is a Swahili word for plate. And I figured I'd use this opportunity that I have here to bring some of my friends out, focus on entrepreneurship, and not just entrepreneurship. If you have anything that I deem necessary for people to hear, you could come out here, be it entertainment or anything else that you got going on in your life. Privileged to have two beautiful ladies in studio with me today. The focus for today's show is going to be around fitness and dance. So without further ado, to my right, I have Miriam and Korma. Welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you on the show. To my left, I have Korma.
Thank you.
Okay, there we go. How are we doing? How are we feeling tonight?
We're feeling so good. It's nice and cold out there, but it's nice and warm.
It's nice?
In here.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good.
Sunday evening?
Yeah.
Set the vibes right?
Yeah.
All right, so Miriam is Kenyan. She is a personal trainer. Korma is Nigerian, and she has a business in, how would I term it? Dance fitness?
Yeah, I think that covers it pretty much.
Okay, what's the name of it?
Afro Contibo.
Afro Contibo. What does that stand for?
So that means, so there's the Afro, African.
Mm-hmm.
The Cont is contemporary.
Okay.
And Igbo is really where I'm from.
Where you
from? I'm Nigerian,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm Igbo, and we speak Igbo, and we're from Igbo.
Okay.
Igbo lands.
Is that Igbo state?
No, so the Igbo people are all down south. I'm from Imo State, which
Imo
is similar but different.
I think that's what I'm connecting it to. Imo.
Yeah.
I've heard of an Imo state before.
Yeah, I'm from Imo State. But there's like Enugu State,
Mm-hmm.
there's Abia State, and all these people are still Igbo.
Okay.
I just happen to be from Imo State, and I'm Igbo.
Okay. Nice.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Afro Contibo just means African contemporary Igbo. Like I'm very Igbo, but in whatever I do, I kind of have my own vibe to it.
Okay.
So it's not like very traditional Igbo.
It's
but
contemporary.
It's contemporary in that way that it's different from traditional. Not, but some people mistake it for contemporary dance, which is more of expression and stretches. I don't know if you're aware of this, but yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't know much about, but you're gonna enlighten us more on that.
Yeah,
you're gonna enlighten us more on that. So let's go over to Miriam.
Yeah.
Kenyan, East Africa in the building representing.
East Africa in the building.
Let's get it. It's an East versus West thing tonight.
You
know what?
Let's see who wins
work
the
together. I like working together.
Okay, Miriam, tell us a little bit about your business that you have going on.
Yeah. So my business is Empower Fitness. Empower Fitness is all about fitness in all aspects, physical fitness, mental fitness, spiritual fitness, but really it's all about physical fitness that also helps take care of all the other things. So
when you say other things, you mean mental,
spiritual.
You gotta be right all the way.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, when you take care of yourself, in return you're taking care of other things.
Nice.
So when I started Empower Fitness 3 years ago, I started into Empower Fitness, and it's just been 3 years.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. You're making moves. I see you on Instagram doing your thing. You got posters everywhere. Every time I see you in the studio, you got a studio full of very eager people to work out. So glad that you were able to join us tonight. So let's get a little bit into. I like to really bring not only your businesses but like your background and how you came up, because these are some of the things that I believe that people look at and are able to relate to you on that level. So before they come to you, or maybe before you go dance for somebody, you might have a connection with them because they're Nigerian or something like that. Yeah. So you say you grew up in Imo State.
So I am from Imo State. I grew up in River State, so it's a little different, but I grew up maybe like 3 hours away.
Okay.
And I came to the U.S. In 2002.
So before we get to the U.S., how was life back there?
Life at home? It was great as I know it, you know. I think we were fortunate to be, you know, educated and coming from a family that thought education was very important, you know. We're 4 girls, 1 boy. Okay. You know, we all went to school, went to boarding school. And, you know, we ate well. You remember boarding school? You know, we ate well, slept well. We had good people around us, you know. We were raised by the entire village, like people say, you know.
It takes an entire village to
That's
raise
what they say, and it's really true, because it's like your aunties will whoop you, your uncles will whoop you, like if you do something stupid, you know. So we were raised in that like traditional, old-fashioned Nigerian Igbo way. Yeah. We were a very Christian home. We're very Catholic. So we kind of grew up like that. My grandma was the dancer in the family, so she used to.
From your dad's side or your mom's side?
From my dad's side. I never met my mom's parents, unfortunately. But so grandma from my dad's side, she would just dance anytime she had the opportunity to. She was also part of so the village had a dance group, you know, and she was part of that. My dad's sister, one of his sisters, was also a dancer and part of the troupe. So
now quick question that's maybe a little aside from that. Now that you brought up dancing, Fela Kuti came to my mind. Is he from like an area near you? Or did he provide any inspiration maybe to your grandma? The
Igbo part of my company is really just my grandma and my village, right? Now the contemporary part would come a little bit from Fela Kuti. So he definitely influenced African music. The non-traditional African music was heavily influenced by Fela Kuti. Right? So when you talk about Afro beats, essential, like the beginning of Afro beats was really Fela Kuti. He really just like brought that into life. But my grandmother probably didn't know who he was and didn't care, you know. But she liked music, she liked dancing, and that's what she did. So we have our own traditional dance that is really just catered to my village. You know, we call it Eguore, which is Egu-ore, which just translates to dance of the
that came out people. This side and came out the other side.
Yeah, can you say it again? Eguore. Try it out. Eguore.
Eguore.
Okay, close enough.
I'm saying it with an English accent. Too much of an English accent.
I know. Yeah. But yeah, so pretty much we have our own dance, you know, and that's the Igbo part of it. So no matter what I do, I would always, you know, show people a little bit of that Igbo dance, just so that we can continue to, you know, keep the culture going, you know.
Nice.
Hashtag for the culture.
Nice. We're gonna go back and forth. Miriam, it's your turn. I want to guess. Born and raised in Nairobi?
No, actually.
Where?
I was born in Kisii.
In Kisii.
And then I was raised in Nairobi.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Hold on, before we go on, I know you also spent some time in Kisumu, because you understand some Luo.
Yes, so I was born in Kisii. My mom is a teacher, so she was teaching in Luo land a lot. So we know how to speak Kisii and we know how to speak Luo. So when we're in Luo, we gossip in Kisii, and when we're in Kisii, we gossip in Luo.
Are you fluent in Luo?
Yes, I am.
So I can't say nothing about you.
You can't say anything about me.
Oh my
you
God.
can't say, because I grew up there, you know.
That's dope.
Oh yeah, I can hear everything.
So how many languages do you know? You know Kisii, Luo, English?
And my stepmom was Taita, so I know I hear Taita, but I can't speak it fluently.
You know, that's the beautiful thing about growing up in like multicultural countries. You know, you get to get a taste of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Get to know how to move around different cultures. So, born and raised born in Kisii, spent some time in Luo land, and then ended up in Nairobi.
Yes.
Okay. And then high school done, and then you come to the States.
Yes. So I went to high school actually we traveled a lot, like we went to different places a lot. So I was raised in Kisii, went to Luo land, and then before we went to Luoland, my mom and my dad were not together. So my dad lived in Kisumu. So I went to school in Tigoi, which is a Luya area.
You know everything.
Yeah, because of just that background of having my mom as a teacher. She kept being transferred in different places, so we have to follow her in different places. Yeah.
How did that affect your education? Because I know as a kid also, I moved a lot. I've lived within Kenya, I've lived in like 6 or 7 different neighborhoods. What that brought about was not being able to have like a consistent group of friends around you.
Right.
So my lifetime friends or lifelong friends are friends who I met in high school. I went to boarding school. I spent like 4 years with them, and those are some of the people that I still keep up with right now.
Right.
So how did that affect?
Yeah,
Moving around, do you think it had the same effect on you?
I think maybe it did, but I think what it did to us, for me and my sister, it made us become more independent. Like we just really moved on so fast, you know, from one place to another. We didn't have so many friends, so we had to really move on. We had to learn to adapt quickly. Yeah, and it really helped me when I came to the U.S. to adapt quickly when I was here. So it was not hard because of the moving on from one place to another.
Okay, yeah, and I was gonna get into that too as we go on the show too.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming maybe after high school, and this is a question to both of y'all. Maybe after high school, maybe 2 or 3 years later, I don't know the specifics, but you end up in the States, right?
Right.
Did you come to Minneapolis first, or you lived somewhere else?
I came to Minneapolis.
Okay, and so how was that? You spent at least maybe 10 or maybe 15 years in Africa. You come to this new land, different culture. How was that transition for you?
So for me, I think the cold hit me first. Like that was the biggest thing, right? Because I moved in, and my auntie used to live in the Twin Cities, so it was not as difficult of a transition because I just moved into a family home, right? But it was like in August, and very quickly it was getting cold. So I went to school in Winona State University.
Winona State, okay.
So Wingtown, okay, not throwing signs or anything, but so I think the biggest issue was the weather, really, because it was so cold. I wanted to just go back home.
I'm assuming
but
you
I
came
couldn't.
around like December, winter time?
No, I came in summer. I came in August, but
So you came, you thought it was good.
exactly. Nobody told me that it just takes a couple months, and it's about So it was terrible, and I wasn't ready. I don't think I really had winter clothes.
Yeah.
So anyways, I got some and figured it out. But I think another issue.
Definitely food.
Well, the food, yeah, but I wasn't a big foodie. I became a foodie later, but I just didn't eat. I guess I was skinny and disappearing. But I think the culture, the people. So like a lot of times in Minnesota, people say, "Do you wanna do this or do you wanna do that?" And it's not really like a question for you to answer. It's kind of like
it's a statement.
It's a statement, and maybe they want you to do it. Yeah, it's like, do you want to pass me that bottle of water? Which really means pass me that bottle of water, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like maybe, and then they're like, well, just pass it to me. I'm like, oh, you should have just said that. So that even until today, like it still kind of throws me off, but I get it, But yeah, there was just a lot of culture shock, and I've been here for over a decade, but I still experience it, I still experience all that stuff because it's like, whoa, that's not normal, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just people, and it's just cold weather, and it's.
So Miriam, did you have a similar experience, so things were a little smoother for you, or?
Yeah, I had a lot of culture shock moments. I want to say one story. We came from Kenya with, I think my mom had like $200 so that we can buy like water on our way.
I'll tell you a funny story about
So we got at the airport and we were thirsty for water, right? And I look at the prices. It says $2.99, and I tell my mom, it's $2.99. We only have 200, and we were thirsty. We gotta save up. We had to survive.
Oh my God,
So we didn't drink water. We went all the way to here.
You did see the decimal in there.
I didn't think.
It's 99 cents. Yeah,
first of all, there's all these professional-looking people. You gotta get in line. You can't be looking up and doing the math. I was like, I just saw $2.99. I was like, Mom, we have $200.
So in connection with that, I feel it's a funny story, and I have a similar experience too.
Yeah.
So I think I had the money that I was supposed to travel with when I was coming to the States. I had about 4,000 Kenyan shillings, which is roughly like $40. So I get to Detroit and I go to the Bureau Exchange because I want to change it into dollars. And so I give it to them, and she made a mistake. And she gave me $400.
Wow.
And I didn't realize it right away.
That's a good mistake.
Yeah.
In your favor.
Yeah, I didn't realize it right away. And so I went, because I was so hungry, I went and got some pizza. And then at the time, snapback hats, it's the hats that have like a thing you can pull in the back, like were in style. So I went and got that. I got a Detroit Tiger snapback. And so in my head, I did the math. I'm like, I should probably have only like $2 now. And so when I pull up, I still have like $300 more. I'm like, where did this come from?
What did you do?
I sat at my gate. I'm like, I'm not. Don't move. If you're seeing me right now, don't come get me. But like, I just sat at my gate, and I never left my gate. I played K when I got in, and I landed in Minneapolis. So
That's a rare mistake. That's a rare mistake.
That's awesome.
yeah. But so you guys went through college. What did you go to school for, Mary?
I went to school for journalism and communication.
Journalism and communication.
Yeah.
That's U of M Duluth.
Yes, I went to school at the U of M. So actually, that was my passion when I was in Kenya. I used to watch CNN a lot. I loved it. I loved the way that the people were dressed up and looking good. I just wanted to be like them. That was like goals for me.
Yeah.
So when I came here, I wanted to do journalism, and obviously things never went the way I was thinking.
Life, right?
Make it work.
In Swahili, there's a thing going on in Kenya right now. It's called kwa ground virtually different.
What does that mean?
That means you have this expectation of life, but like life is this like really eye-opening experience where it means on the ground things
are different. Yeah, and it's a good thing. It's a very beautiful journey.
You gotta adjust.
Yeah.
Well, what did you go to school for?
I went to Winona State University for business and economics.
Oh yeah, we're just talking about this. You're a business analyst now too.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Okay, so being that ground virtually different, did you ever?
Ground virtually different.
Ground virtually different.
Ground virtually different.
Hey, there you go. It has some little Swahili on it. But so I've been in trying to do stuff outside of work, and my rugby team, or the team that I used to play for, the University of Minnesota, I used to play rugby for them. They've been kind enough to let me come around and watch their practices and stuff. And they have part of the coaching system is to train them mentally on how to think about stuff. So one of their training stuff would be like, picture yourself in a game, you're doing well, you're doing all these things really good. And then picture yourself when things go bad, how do you come back from it, right? And so I've really been trying to apply that outside of life.
Right.
I'm finding that, so where I'm trying to go with this is, did you ever picture yourself in the position that you're at right now, running a business and being in a 9-to-5 as well? And if not, what are some of the adjustments that you've had to make in order to, as I said, reality is different.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I think I've always been of that awareness that reality is different, So I have a plan, but I'm okay with flexing it up and trying to adapt and trying to do this and that. I did plan to go to school and teach. I was going to teach economics.
Entrepreneurship was nowhere.
It was there.
Okay.
I was going to teach economics, but I was also going to have a dance space, a dance studio.
So you saw it.
So yeah, I figured I would have, because I needed a source of income first before I did that, And I was kind of fortunate because in college I had sort of a mentor. So there was this lady she was a director of the arts and music, and she kind of told me her story and how it went, and so pretty much pretty much saying,
don't repeat the same mistake.
yeah, you're probably this is very hard to just go into dancing full time and make it unless you're well connected. Like you have to have started dancing since you were a baby in the same space, so people can recognize you. And but as a immigrant, you know, you kind of need to, you need to get yourself grounded first. So I kind of always knew that I had to do something to do that. I just didn't know I was going to be a business analyst, you know. So, but I just followed that path. I didn't dance after I graduated. I didn't dance for a few years because I had to figure this American business out, try to figure out how to be a resident, you know, get the right documentations but it was always at the back of my head, like this is something I wanted to do.
Okay, nice.
So since I had the opportunity, I mean, it was, I was fortunate, that's all I can say. Because I know people have similar goals and haven't had some opportunities that I have had. I've worked hard, but I've also had things just like, good luck.
Favor.
Yes.
Miriam, did you ever see yourself being a personal trainer, providing people really nutrition and like nutrition mentally, nutrition physically? Did you ever see yourself in this kind of spot where you're actually influencing or encouraging people to take care of their bodies?
You know, as a young girl growing up, I was very shy. I was very shy, so I didn't see myself being able to coach people. I think I had a very low self-esteem as a young child. I don't know why, but I went to school for journalism and communication, so I did a lot of public speaking classes that pushed me and prepared me. So I knew that I wanted to do journalism, but I just feel like it was preparing me. The school was preparing me for something big, to be able to speak. So when I finished school, I just knew I really loved working out, but it was not for anything to do with any kind of business. I just was doing it for fun until I felt so good. The only time that I felt good is during my workouts, but anything after that, I just didn't feel good. So I started to follow. I was seeking and searching the happiness that the workout was giving me. And at that time, I was also listening to a lot of motivational speakers that were talking about do what you love and make money out of it.
I watch your Instagram, you listen to, what's this hip-hop preacher name? E.T.,
Eric Thomas. I listened to a lot of motivational speakers until they affected my mental awareness. I was so uncomfortable working. I felt like I was wasting my potential. So it made me uncomfortable. Yes, it made me seek for purpose. So I quit my job. I put in a 2-week notice, but that's after while I was working, I was doing personal training classes, and I remember I was not supposed to pass the class because it was so hard to manage the schooling and the work. They were giving me the worst schedule. But
are these like night classes that you're taking?
No, evening classes. I was doing 9 to 5, and then I have a class at 6. And I remember I missed 1 week, and it was just a class it's just once a week. So when you miss a week, you miss a lot of things. So I remember it was very tough. It was around summer. I missed out on summer. I was focused on just finishing this class and making sure that I passed. When I passed, that was my divine confirmation that I am out of this job. They were changing schedules.
What happens after you pass the exam? Do they give you like some sort of license or?
No, you get a certification. That's you have to go find a job for yourself. I was lucky though. That was the opening. That was the opening for me. I was lucky. Immediately after I did my certification, my sister's company was looking for a trainer for like a day. I was called a help day.
I happen to know your sister. Was she? She's an engineer.
She was an engineer at that time.
She was working at
UTC? So she told the HR department, I have a sister who's a personal trainer who's very experienced, and I was like, okay. And I went there.
Go with the flow,
you gotta get in.
Until you make it.
So I got in there, and I trained the whole day. And on that day, I got paid $600 for that day. And I said, you know what? I make $600 a day here, and I make almost the same amount at this job for a week.
So
like,
this is it.
It was not all about the money, but it was just a wake up call.
It definitely will encourage you to keep going on. As much as we want to sit and there's all this money is the root of all evil. When you actually see the money coming in and it's off of your own sweat, it definitely will like encourage you to want to keep going. So what are some of being that business and entrepreneurship, I'm already starting to feel like it's a hustle, like
It
you
is a
mentioned,
hustle.
right? So what are some of the pressures that come with running your own business? As far I've already heard like timing and all that. Maybe we'll start with Korma. You're running your own business. You wanna it's all glamour on Instagram. Everybody now, all millennials are now very excited to, I want to be out on my own. I want to go out and do my own thing. What would you say are some of the pressures that come with it, though?
I want to say, if you, for example, I was doing this, I've been doing this for about 4.5 years, almost 5 years. And I was being pressured to do a lot more than I really could for a while, you know, and that I did quit my job in 2017 for many reasons, but also I wanted to focus on the dance fitness.
You gotta give it up. You guys are very courageous. I wouldn't. I just wake up and quit and be like.
Well, no, I didn't just wake up and quit. There was a plan to it. So I have a husband, right? We had just got married. We just got a condo, and so there was some pressure there to make money. But that was the time that I actually quit. And I was like, listen, I told my husband, you know, I really would want for you to support me for the next like year while I figure this out, because I think there's an opportunity here. I just have to give it 100%, you know? So we had a plan. We said, let's do it for a whole year. Let's see what happens. Give it your all. And then we go from there, you know? So I was now doing that full time, and it was okay, like, to sustain my regular lifestyle. But, you know, it wasn't enough to do other things, you know, that I wanted to do. I don't want the business to just be Korma. I wanted it to be able to hire people and have it grow. And so we needed more capital, right? But during that phase of doing it full time, there was certain pressures, I think, coming from just the community, social media, and I think people just expect more. And it's like, well, there's just you're your marketing person, you're the person creating the choreography, you're the finance person, you have to find the people, you know, it's just a lot of work for one person, you know. And for example, if someone emails you inquiring about some information, and let's say you're 3 days late to respond, they might get upset. And there's that lack of understanding that you're a one-man shop, you know, I'm like, I can't do it all. Like, I just need some time. I can do it probably all, but time is such a constraint. So just people understanding and having patience, you know, in their approach, you know, is because it's like, I would love to do everything, especially if the money's right, you know, but sometimes you just have to work it out. Like, okay, maybe this week doesn't work, next week. Most people are very flexible, but I think some people have so much expectations because they see you on social media, you have over 1,000 followers, and maybe they think you just got this, you can do this, like, let's go, you know. I'm like, no, I need a moment, you know.
It sounds like communication starts to become a very key aspect in this.
I think so.
Yeah, you got to be very honest with your clients.
Yeah.
Straight up front, if you can do something, be like, there might be a pressure to do it within less time, but it sounds like you should be able to be like, I could do it within, you're expecting it in 2 days, I could probably do it in like a week and a half or something.
Right,
like that.
yeah. I think, I mean, that's an expectation that you have as a company, but consumers don't know that, you know, and there's really not a good way of them getting that information, you know? But yeah, just, I think if we had a support, I think for me anyways, if I had a support system or could just hire an administrative person, you know, which we're getting there, but that would definitely be helpful. Another constraint, another pressure that I find, so my theme is Afro-Contibo. So in every dance piece I do, there's an Igbo essence to it. And sometimes there might be that, like, some people don't want that. You know, they just want maybe straight up Afro beats. And I have to kind of educate people at that point. Like, this is, you know, I get it, you want Afro beats, but this is Afro-Contibo's company. We always have to educate you a little bit about being Igbo. And normally they're okay with that, though. But again, communication, right? So if you're not patient enough to listen to what I have to say, then you would just assume that that I can't do what you want me to do. So,
Miriam, are you experiencing some of the same things, or you're being? I'm assuming since you're also in like the fitness type of industry. you're facing some of the same issues.
Yeah, pressure is everywhere. Pressure is what builds diamonds. So for me, discipline. Yes, discipline is something that I had to learn the hardest way. You have to you know, you ask God to give you clients. Are you gonna manage those clients? You know, it's like if you get one talent or one client, can you fully take care of that client perfectly? Then God will add you more and more. So if you get more, are you able to handle that plate? So I learned to take care of one client at a time, so that I make sure that I take care of them. At first I was so excited to get so many clients, but I was you know, I couldn't do it by myself perfectly. So I learned, you know, I have to, because if you can treat someone perfectly, they will put the name out there, you know, and that's what you want. So discipline is a big thing. Balance. You have your own personal life. You have to balance and make sure that you are also taking care of yourself, so that you can be perfect. As a trainer, I have to look good for the people. If they want to look like me, you can't be out there like eating McDonald's. I want so hard. I don't have time. Yeah. So it's a lot of pressure. And
you know what I've never been able to do is, I see you doing it a lot, is waking up in the morning to work out. I pulled it off for a few. I could pull it off every now and then, but like I'm always in the back of my mind, I can get it after work. So if I can get that mentality out, and because it feels so good when you wake up, you work out, you're fresh during the day, and then you got like 3-4 hours after work that you could dedicate to something else.
That is the best. Like waking up at 5 o'clock is a secret to, for me, is the secret to the best routine in the morning, because you have a lot of energy. If you do have energy in the morning, you can get away all the difficult things in the morning. And then of course when it's in the afternoon, I get tired.
The day slows down.
And then again, 5 o'clock in the evening is my morning again. So you get another high at 5 o'clock to be able to do things. So I love waking up at 5 o'clock, and if I don't wake up, my whole day is messed up. You know, because again, I'm everything. I have to do everything.
Walk me through your day. What is it like? You wake up.
So on a typical good day, you know, given the snow and everything, I would wake up at 4:55 or 5 o'clock. And the first thing I do, my phone is on Do Not Disturb till 8 a.m. So I just click on you know, some type of motivational speaking. It has to be some Christian.
Listening.
So I listen to it. So I set I call it spiritual dressing, so I can dress for the day. So I fill my cup by listening to that, and I go to the gym and I work on myself the whole time up until 7 a.m.
Do you have clients coming in at that time? Or
no clients
this is just you?
This is me. I work for 2 hours. I work out for 2 hours, so from 5 to 7 it's just me. Then 7 o'clock, then I start to have client meetings from 7:30 all the way throughout the day. But you know, I have to, that morning time is like a ritual. You have to do that. Once you do that, you can handle the whole day. But if you miss that, the whole day, even anybody on the traffic just going slow, anything is gonna piss you off, you know. And you have to be intentional. If you miss that,
Nice. So back to you again, Miriam. I know we've spoken, not spoken, but we've worked in the community together on a lot about the different ventures, and it seems like the common theme underlying this for you is like it seems like you really love to give back. If I look at fitness, that's giving back to people. It's personal development, but you're also encouraging other people to live a healthy lifestyle. If I look at Daily Manna, which is something else that you're involved in, it's also giving back. You're giving back to the homeless and you're feeding them. And then we also cooperated with Cookie Safe Spot, and that was bringing awareness to mental illness. So what is it about your life? Can you point to something, maybe an experience that happened in your life and you're like, I just gotta give back. It doesn't make sense for me to just take and not give back.
I don't know exactly when, but I think I was born a very empathetic person. Like I'm very emotional, and I, you know, like when I see people that are less fortunate, it just affects me immediately. So you know, there's people like that. So growing up, I used to watch a lot of, when I was in Kenya, they would play this station. They still do play it here, where there's like homeless kids who don't have food, and they make it so sad. Back
with a fly around the face.
It was so sad. And when I was a kid, I used to watch it. I hated eating when that was playing. So fortunately,
because there's other people who don't have.
But then, you know, before I came to America, I was praying. I'm so big into praying, so I was praying for God to, to open the door for us to come here.
Yeah.
And if God opened a way, then I would give back. I would come back to Kenya and open an orphanage, or I would give back. So when I came here, I realized there's so much homelessness here, and just as it is at home, back home.
Right.
So I said I have to start from
Might
here.
as well, yeah. Charity
to
starts
start
from
from
home.
here.
Right.
Yeah.
And where is home?
People say that, oh, you see those homeless people, they're just doing business, some of them. But I'm very careful on that. You can't judge. You don't know what they're going through.
Right.
What was your first experience with somebody, and how did Daily Manna come about? What was your first? Was it an experience with somebody homeless, or you just?
I used to go through. When you drive, you see them carrying.
Give me $5.
Yeah,
give me
exactly.
$1,
I get so sad. I give money, and then I was like, I want to get to know them. I want to know, And there was a guy that was drunk that I met one time that I went to downtown in the morning, and he was drunk. He was hungry. He asked me to buy him food.
Yeah.
So I bought him food, and he really was very thankful. But I love cooking, so I said, next time I'll make home cooked food and bring it to him.
Yeah.
He was homeless. He doesn't have any place to eat. I'm sure he does that every weekend.
How are you going to find him if he's homeless?
He was on the same spot. I told him I'll find him here. All the homeless people we fed, they always waited. Like, find me next Saturday at 2 a.m. 2 p.m. I'll find you here.
Did he come?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And that's how we continued feeding all the homeless people at the same spot.
Okay.
And then eventually,
because he brought some of his friends.
He brought some of his. They are very, very. They bring all their friends.
Okay.
They carry plates for their friends.
Nice.
And at the same time, my organization, the Daily Manna, the other people that are in the organization are the same way as me. So we just discovered each other online, and we have the same, habits of helping people. So we came together, and we had the common, interest of helping people. So it was much easier. So we would actually all cook food, and then in the mornings on Sundays and go and feed these people. It was amazing. It was just amazing, and then it just went from one place to another.
Nice. That's great to hear. Now, back to fitness, which is something that you guys seem to have in common. This is a question for both of you guys. I could start from either one of you. But I remember in college, I had tough classes, and I looked forward to, we had practices Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I looked forward to that time where I could go and just be on the field and play, release all that stress, right? And the question I'm about to ask is in relation to stress. For me, this is not my job, it's not my profession. Fitness is not my profession. So I can look forward to times where I can go to the gym and release stress. For you guys, this is a huge part of how you're generating income.
Right.
So is there aside from fitness, is there other things that you really look forward to like really calm you down and reduce the stress, keep your mind right, keep your spirit right?
I could go.
Yeah.
So no, I'm just joking. I think dancing. I do dance fitness, and we have. So on Saturdays, it's kind of a community class. Anybody can drop in. We have a fee, and if you can't pay, you just drop in for free. Yeah. That class, I think, has been the most interesting one, because we just have so many people. Now, if I didn't teach yesterday, and I couldn't get a sub, so there was no class. And a couple people sent me messages. Because it's become like church. For some people,
they need that.
So I felt bad, even though I was bringing church to other people in North Dakota, but it's like sometimes I wish there was a couple of me, right? Because I really wanted to be there, because that's my thing too. So even though I did teach in North Dakota, I still felt a little bit empty, and I can't wait for next Saturday so I can meet the people again and connect. It's not just about the dance exercise, but it's about also the community, and saying, how you guys doing? Giving hugs and stuff like that. I do have another outlet. My husband and I, we go hiking every now and then, and so that's kind of in the winter it gets tough, But no, you can't. In the winter it gets tough, but we used to go, we just drive a little bit, and walk around. I also salsa dance. Okay. So, and there's always a place.
Been thinking about joining. They have some of my friends will say they have like for instance, you have free classes.
Yes.
They have like free salsa classes.
They do, yeah. So I don't have straight up free classes. There's always like a donation intended. But if someone cannot pay or a student, then it's free. But yeah, salsa, they have socials. I don't know that they have free actual classes, but they have socials.
We just go and
So you just go dance with anybody, yeah. And that happens almost every night. So every Monday night, you could be sitting on your couch bored looking for what to do. You just have to go to the salsa community site page, and there's always...
You gotta know how to dance, though.
You don't have to. I mean...
You gotta know how
you
to
gotta, maybe you could...
It's very... Me watching people who salsa,
Yeah.
it's like they can read
It's
each
a
other's
skill.
minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder how that comes about. That's what I'm saying. You gotta
Yeah.
at least have the basics of... When I step forward, you step
back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you know,
And there's
that's
certain
where
positions, like,
I can teach
think
you
man-
basic.
I think man, you're supposed to hold the waist, and ladies
Yeah.
are supposed to hold. So if you don't know, you're in there guessing.
And if you're a man and you can't lead, it's bad.
See? You gotta know.
I mean, well, so as an instructor, I don't like to say that. I don't like to say that anything is
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
or anything is required,
Yeah.
because you know, there shouldn't be a gate that closes people off. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good word.
So yeah, there's always that free entry. You come in there and you can see, like, I'm that person who, if I come in, especially if I see a brother working and he's just standing up dancing, I would go over there and say, hey, how's it going? First time here?
Yeah.
Do you know how to do this? You want me to show you some basics? You know, like, I try to get people into the community right away,
Yeah.
especially because there really isn't a lot of others, you know, like other people that look like us doing that
Doing that,
dance.
yeah.
So once I see one, I'm like, hey, come on in, let's do this. Let me teach you
Let me
basic.
teach
I
you
don't
how to
want
do
you
it.
to run away. I know it gets intimidating, but I'm going to show you some basic. And I actually do teach private classes where if somebody wanted to learn just a basic motion, you know, I can do basic salsa. I'm not like a pro by any chance, but I know like many of the basic moves that so if you want, Robert, I got you. I'll hook you
got
up.
me.
I'll give you a discount. Family and friends.
Quick over to you. Do you have any other outlet apart from fitness?
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest one is reading personal development books, awareness books, really to help you manage the habits of thinking and the mind.
Yeah.
Another one is just really building. For me, my relationship with God is like the one that really helps me manage other areas of my life.
Okay. Right.
Family, just having people that you can talk to, and I love cooking, and I do like wine. I know I'm a Chino, but
I like wine too. I didn't know that was a thing. That's just part of my life.
So, wine, red wine, sweet wine can solve a lot of problems.
I
Sorry, Mom.
read something funny on Facebook the other day. I think it was a meme. It said the most. If you want to know the most independent woman is a woman who lives by herself and has a bottle of wine.
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell her nothing.
You ain't never lying.
But so I'm interested to know if you guys cater to a certain demographic. By demographic, I mean people of a certain age, of a certain sex. And is that by design, or it just so happened to be that these are the people who show up?
For me, I cater to I cater to women. I should be specific.
Yeah.
I cater to women because I want to empower women. That's my mission on my on Empower Fitness. I want to empower women. Of course, I have some guy clients, but I really like to work with women to help them boost their confidence and just empower their self-esteem through fitness.
Yeah.
And I have had a lot of African people, our African people come. I've had a little bit of mixture from there, but it just so happens that a lot of Africans my age come to me.
To your session.
So I'm very open to anybody, but it just so happens that they come.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, I started off just teaching friends. So it was, people I went to college with that we like to, in college we used to dance and make money dancing. We would host events. So
People come to watch you dance?
Yeah.
You would be the main act, or there's a main act?
we will be the main act.
And
So
there's people opening up for you?
no, we are the main and only act.
Wow.
We're the act. So we would, but we made a thing out of it. So when we went on the state, it was, you get a scholarship if you could teach your culture to the American students. And so I kind of proposed to them that we just dance, and that's a way of teaching culture. So for Winona State University, that's what we did. But then we took it out to the community, and I think it was through a church where we would just rent a little space and we would cook. So it was a multiple of things, right? We would cook food, people would come enjoy tastings, not too much, you know, and then they'll be able to ask us questions. It would be like a sit down, and then after that we would do like a little dance skit, and then that's it. It's a quick hour, 2 hour event. And
you get your scholarship?
No, that was for scholarship for school. We didn't charge them.
Okay.
Yeah, but this one we did outside of the Winona State, so for the community, and so we get paid for that one. For the scholarship one, we didn't get paid. We just got the scholarship. But so having that in mind, I feel like I was aware that people were interested in the African culture and the dance, and even Africans who are here but maybe have been removed from the culture for so long. They're looking for different ways to connect, you know, to maybe make new friends. So I somehow have attracted not just the Africans that are of my generation, but you know, the younger folks, the older folks. I've attracted the white Americans as well as Indians, different races, like everyone who's interested in dancing, because my hashtag is dance for everyone, African dance for everyone. So I try to make it as less complicated as possible, you know. At least the Saturday one, we have a performance team. That one is more complicated, and people on the performance team are mainly Africans. But we did a thing at Timberwolves game earlier this year, and you know, I'll be happy to show you the video later, or you guys can look it up. Just go African Timberwolves on YouTube, and you will see the diverse amount of people that were dancing. There was about maybe 12 of us from different walks of life.
Nice.
But,
we've been going for about 45 minutes now, coming up to wrapping up. So Miriam, are you content with where your business is at right now? 5 years from now, what is it going to be looking like? Is there other business ventures that you're thinking of getting into?
I'm never content. I mean, I'm content with where I am, how far I have come from, but I am always constantly trying to build myself, you know, add more to myself so that I can be better. 5 years from now, I hope I can own a building, like an Empower Fitness building, mostly for women, catered for women here and in Kenya. And hopefully I can also be able to do the same for Daily Manor. The sky's the limit. We have the opportunity here in America as a diaspora community. So I feel like we are so, you know, we have a great opportunity. It's just a matter of balancing all those discipline and time and everything and sacrificing so that we can help our next generation. I can help my my children can get a better, you know, upgraded life than I did when I came here. I have to start from scratch.
That's a goal. That's a goal. Make it better for the next generation.
Yes.
Karma, you got any future plans?
Yeah, I mean, sky's the limit, you know. So like, I'm gonna hopefully like right now, I'm gonna connect with Miriam because I think she's awesome. And
awesome.
Shout out to Women Empowerment.
Yeah, Women Empowerment, and I think that I like to collaborate.
Which brings up a very we'll go into that. Keep going. Yeah,
so just a lot of collaborations, and I do rent a space in Uptown right now, but hopefully have a more permanent space. I do want more people to do what I'm doing, so I already have 3 to 4 ladies who are hardcore into it, and they're getting certified pretty soon. So I will certify them, and then they will teach their own classes, and there will just be multiple dance classes around the cities.
On the subject of women empowerment, do you feel that your journey in fitness is different to the men who are also in the industry? And if so, how you making adjustments to move around it?
I don't really think much about men, especially in the industry. You know, I have a goal, I focus on it, and I just keep it moving. It's open. If men want to come, they can come. You know, it's for everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to say, you know, as a woman who's an African woman in fitness or even in dance, you are going to be attacked by people by how you dress, how you are, present yourself, because we come from a very conservative background, but those are some of the things that I just have a very tough skin on, and I do not like completely listen or care or hear what people say. You just have to have this, you know, focus and just do what you have to do. And I'm not saying that you're gonna be like letting
Right,
yourself
right.
loose, but you're just gonna do what you have to do and
Okay.
make it.
I do envy men that work out shirtless because I was like, man, I wish I
I
could
wish I could work out
sometimes. Sometimes they're just so much restricted. But anyways, that's not okay. Well, but talking about pressure, that's some of the pressures too, though. Like, like should I put on this clothes? Should I not? We have to, as women, we have to think about
Sometimes
that.
dressing.
We got to think about our hair too. It's like when
Yeah.
you're working out, you have all this afro.
Yeah.
It's gonna shrink. It's gonna go up. Maybe somebody's taking a Snapchat, a video.
I
So we
know.
think about our look.
It's a lot more that goes into it.
Yeah. Sometimes I do wish I had some. I could switch it up, just be a man for a
Be a
day.
man.
All right, so
Yeah,
if you weren't doing this, what do you picture yourself doing? Maybe a hobby or
Probably doing some form of community work as well, and just getting people, because I do believe that people like to connect with other people that have similar interests. So just fulfilling that part of life that I think is my mission.
nice.
I think I'll be doing that. Something.
Miriam, I know it's gonna be something serving people.
No, I was, I used to say, I would be an undercover investigator, like just stalking people, like in a good way, just to help, like, an undercover, I used
people's
investigator, some spy. Sorry, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I wouldn't want to be in any other place. I know that God has brought me in this journey here. I mean, 5 years from now, I probably will be in a different path, but still here, in this theme of fitness, but I'm sure I'll be somewhere different,
Okay.
So,
Nice. Parting shot. Anything you guys would love to say, maybe to the wannabe entrepreneurs who are trying to get into the fitness industry? Anything really, not necessarily entrepreneurs, but just general advice in life, whatever.
I'll say just do it. I mean, if
Nike.
there's something, just Nike,
Just
that's my
do it.
favorite. Yeah. If there's something you really want to do, just do it, because if it doesn't work out, you failed, that's okay. You move
I
on.
like that.
Yeah.
And if you need any advice, any support that we can kind of lend you,
Yeah.
reach out. That's what we're here for.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say don't doubt yourself. Just go for it. Do it now, because the opportunities that you get today, you might not get tomorrow. Don't worry about the how. Just do it. God always opens a way. When you start doing something, something always happens.
Yeah.
So
Right.
just go for it. The sky's the limit. Literally believe in yourself. Sometimes we don't do that a lot, but just keep working on believing
And
in
even
ourselves.
if like 10 other people are doing the same thing,
Yes,
who
that's
knows?
a big thing.
You might do it better.
Yeah.
So
There's room for all of us. That's one
Exactly.
thing I've learned. It's not saturated. There's so much uniqueness in just you being yourself. So, and that's one of the fears that I used to think I would go through. But there's just room for this. We are all so unique in so many different ways. There's no better you than you.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Just do it. I hope Nike don't come after us. Talking about something. You got to pay us for that. But really glad you guys had the chance to join us this beautiful Sunday evening. Hoping to see you guys again. We had, make sure you follow us all on Instagram. They
Yes.
have their own businesses that they're trying to promote. So it's
at Afro
at
Contigo.
Afro Contigo, and it was on the screens, below the screens, if you were paying attention. And we have Miss Miriam
Miss
Fitness.
Miriam Fitness.
Miss_Miriam Fitness.
Yeah.
And I've been your host for today's episode of Sahani, and I hope to see you guys next Sunday. Not next Sunday, but first Sunday of December. Thank you.
Thank you.